Yo, what's up, guys? It's your boy Looney back with another market breakdown. Earnings season is here, and this is where real money is made if you know how to play it right. Before we start, quick shout out to my Discord community. I have a free Discord for anyone to join, and then I also have a paid version or a premium version of that Discord. It's $8 a month. You get more perks. There's other team members that you can communicate with. You get trade alerts from myself and other team members. There is a course, and there's one-on-one coaching, and there's more. You could check it all out. Links will be in the description. I actually have one of my team members that heavily trades on earnings, so perfect time to join. But let's get into the earnings and earnings season. Earnings season is where companies prove if they deserve their valuations. Stocks can either pump or dump based on results, but it's not just about beating estimates, it's about market expectations. We actually just saw SoFi, it beat earnings pretty comfortably, had record revenue, but still dropped because guidance wasn't strong enough, and also the overall market had a bubble burst because of the US markets all went down, and it could have been because of the deep sea company, and it could have just been overvaluation of stocks overall, but it did drop even though it beat earnings. So how do you trade earnings? And here are my top 3 strategies for 2025. Number 1 is to sell options for premiums. Earnings brings volatility, which is actually a good thing if you're selling options. Instead of buying, I sell cash secured puts on stocks. You can actually do it on SoFi, and you would get pretty good returns. You'd get pretty good premiums. You could check them out here. This is post earnings. We're going to get into that actually because it already had earnings, and SoFi is just overall cheap, so it would be good to sell put. But Riot has upcoming earnings, and it's a pretty good price to entry. It has earnings in about a month. So if you were to sell options around that time, maybe before, you actually get pretty good premiums. You could see here $55, $86, or even before that, $49, $74. Really good return if you're able to buy up to 5 contracts. I know that's a lot. Even just one, it's a pretty good return, $74 in about a month, a little bit less than a month. Really good idea, good plan, especially Riot is pretty cheap now, but overall, good time to sell options before earnings. You can even sell options through earnings. I wouldn't recommend doing that all the time. I know it's more risky because of the volatility. With volatility comes risk. So be very cautious of that and just be comfortable. If you are going to trade, be comfortable for these massive drops because stocks drop during earnings and they could also pump. Number 2 is post-earning continuation plays like SoFi. So a lot of times stocks overreact to earnings. You could see SoFi dropped. So this creates great buying options, whether you want to just buy and hold, or you could buy a call, a long-term call. I did that, and I did it before earnings. It's not that big of a deal because it is a long-term option. And in the long run, this is not going to change much. But if you were to get into it now, buying a call is also a great idea. Buying and holding is a great idea. You can even revert back to the first point where you could sell options because it is at a discounted price. Now, buying leaps is very good on beaten down stocks, like you could say SoFi, where it was oversold. And if you believe in the company, it lets you profit on long-term recovery without needing time to time the bottom. Quick little thing, just a cool thing that they have on Robinhood. You could actually look up upcoming earnings, and if you just type in earnings and then it gave you this. So these are ones that just had earnings or are upcoming. Apple has earnings tomorrow, and it's doing pretty good right now. I'm very curious to how things are going to go. Apple is a good company. And then Microsoft just had earnings, and I believe it actually beat earnings again, but it did not receive the news good. It dropped in price. So I decided to restart my DCAing. I paused it for a little bit, and now I'm getting back into it. And if we just look at the chart, you could clearly see on the 1 month, it is exiting that Bollinger Band. And what that means is that what Bollinger Bands do is 95% of the time stocks stay in between those two bands. It's based on standard deviation. I'm not going to go over that right now, but when it goes outside of that, that means 5% of the time it goes outside of that. Very rarely does it go outside. You can see on the year, it goes out very rarely. And when it does, it quickly goes back in to those Bollinger Bands. So this is great right now for buying opportunity. You can see it's exited that lower Bollinger Band and it's due to come back in. I don't know when. It could drop a little bit more, but in the long term, it will come back. And even the RSI is relatively low. I mean, under 40 is on the lower end, meaning it has been oversold. So great buying opportunity for Microsoft. I know it's expensive. Maybe you won't be able to buy options on it, but you could just simply buy and hold, maybe buy a long-term call. Let's see what they have. These are a little bit expensive. They're about $6,000. So if you can't afford that, just simply buy and hold. Great opportunity to get into it. And yeah, there's more earnings coming up. I think Tesla just had earnings. Let's see what it said. Yeah, this one actually missed earnings and still was green on the day. So it's pretty interesting how earnings cause a factor in the price predictions. So earnings season can be volatile, but it's also full of opportunities. Instead of gambling, use smart strategies like selling options, waiting for those overreactions, and playing long-term rebounds. Let me know in the comments what's the next earnings play you're watching. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and join my Discord for real-time trade alerts. Peace.